Leeds 4, Hull Kingston Rovers 6 at half-time. Good start for Rovers and their supporters. 3,500 of them here tonight in this all-ticket crowd, and Justin Morgan with high hopes that 2008 might be a very special year for his club. Ben Fisher is alongside him there, and the left of your screen is Hooker, who was the Player of the Year last year with Michael Vella. And Ben Fisher just out with a wrist problem, shown up in a... They sent him for a precautionary scan yesterday on the wrist, and it proved to be more problematic than they thought. So Ben Fisher was withdrawn. We also have mentioned, Steve-O, the fact that Nick Scruton has replaced Jamie Jones-Buchanan, and Leeds perhaps missing the rumbustious runs of the big fella.
Shall we stay behind?
Without a doubt it is. As far as I'm concerned, Brian McLennan will be very eager to get him back into the fray, because I'm afraid the Rhinos forwards really have not been able to match what has been thrown at them from the Rovers. Up front, they are taking control, some of the big guys out there, and the defensive qualities of Newton, Gallier and Morrell has been evident in that first 40 minutes.
They're missing Jamie Jones-Buchanan, a man who was ever present during Super League's campaign of 2007. This is Clinton Tupi, Jesus and Vella, the new skipper, Michael Vella. 10 times he represented his state, New South Wales, and 8 times he represented his country. Rated by many as one of the best props in Super League last year, Mick Vella.
Certainly gets through a lot of work, and that's the one thing that I'm sure Brian McLennan would have said to the Leeds outfit up front. Say, come on, fellas. The forwards have to work harder. Oh, he's allowed it to bounce. They've got away with it.
They have Peter Fox taking control. Sean Briscoe simply couldn't get to it. It was a high kick from Danny Maguire. Here's Briscoe now. One of the best attacking fullbacks in this country, Sean Briscoe, England international. Let's hear from Bill, half-time news.
Well, Eddie, that kick that Sean Briscoe had to deal with, indicative of the way conditions have probably worsened here. The wind seems to have picked up and is blowing right in the faces of the Hull Kingston Rovers team at the moment, which was, I think, why that kick was so difficult for Briscoe to deal with. You have to say that this pitch has held up remarkably well. We said beforehand it looked very soft. You've mentioned how soggy it is in front of the south stand. Hats off to the Leeds ground staff, Jason Booth and his team. They actually spent the night here last night, camping out at Headingley to ensure that the game went ahead, just in case of any frost or snow.
Yes, well done to them, Jason Booth and his team, for their dedication. It's not his fault that we've had snow and rain and hail and all sorts. But Bill's right, the pitch is standing up very well indeed, but it is soft in parts. Halfway line, Leeds in possession with Diskin. Little run from Diskin, then he offloads it back to Sinfield. He then finds Danny Maguire, who goes up the middle. Jean got him low down. Azu finished him off up top. The Papua New Guinea double act for Rovers. Here is Gareth Ellis.
The one thing that Leeds are finding it very difficult is that they can't get through this defence of Hull Kingston Rovers, mainly due to the fact that the Rovers are not moving up quickly. They're hanging back, and therefore it's allowing Leeds to be one-out football for most of the time.
Well claimed again by Peter Fox. Was with Wakefield at Trinity last year. Made his debut for the Wildcats against Hull Kingston Rovers exactly a year ago. Of course, the night that Rovers signalled their intent in 2007 when they beat Wakefield on their own midden. We were there that night. This is Fitzhenry, Daniel Fitzhenry. 6 seasons with the West Tigers.
Eddie, at this time of the season, you tend to see fewer long-range tries. And as a result, we've seen a conservative opening to this second half from Leeds, determined to try and get to the right end of the field, apply some pressure and hoping that they will, later in the game, pay dividends from that. But it's been simple carries down the middle of the field and not their expansive game that they played earlier in the first half.
Cockayne with a little chip over the top. He thought it might come up for him, but Sinfield is the man who gobbled up the possession for the Leeds Rhinos. He was trying to be inventive then, Cockayne. He's given Leeds half the length of the field here to attack with Tupi.
Well, to be fair to Cockayne, he was left with no option because really there was no call for getting someone in a position to kick.
Gareth Ellis now for the Leeds Rhinos.
Just a lack of communication there. But Leeds really have to start using dummy runners, use something different, even just a little chip over the top, perhaps.
Maguire showed it and then gave it to Ali Lauatiti. Oh, what a pass off the deck from Lauatiti. Desperate defence against Brent Webb, it had to be. It's Maguire, it's Burrow, and here is Nick Scruton. And Scruton still going, and he's grounded eventually 1 metre short of the line on this, the last tackle. Diskin will try and poach one. And Diskin is held up short of the line. The turnover right on the Hull Kingston Rovers goal line.
Well, I'm not so sure that the Leeds coach, Brian McLennan, would have been happy with that, but what about the pass? Lauatiti, superb ball handling skills. Good support as well from the fullback, Brent Webb. It's going to take something very special indeed to get through the Rovers' defence.
Talking about Ali Lauatiti, he only made one start in 2007, and that was on the first weekend, round one, against Salford. They went to the Willows that night, they beat Salford, but it was 5 tries apiece.
4, come on, watch!
Just shows you, though, the importance now, isn't it? It's not just a 13-a-side, it is a 17-a-side. When you've got the bench players of the ability that Leeds have, but they're finding it very difficult to get through.
Kick downfield is well picked up by Brent Webb on the full and on the fly, and he will launch the counter, Brent Webb. Joined second, the top try scorer in 2006, 24 tries last year. Brent Webb, the New Zealand international, another man very well known to the new coach Brian McLennan, of course. This is Leeds' 321st weekly round Super League fixture. They're 160th on home soil. They've won 2/3 of the games here at Headingley in that time. This is Lee Smith. Now he'll straighten up when past Cocaine, who went a bit high. Burrow, typical scampering run from Rob Burrow, finds Lauatiti.
Then again, you see this Hull Kingston Rovers defence so solid. They're not being sucked out of the one line. They're moving as a unit. Leeds doing a lot of movement, but it's going from side to side and not forward.
Last tackle here for the Leeds Rhinos. Maguire, angled kick, awkward, but dealt with by James Webster. He was their skipper last year, relieved of the captaincy this year, James Webster. Vela taking over and dumped to the ground somewhat unceremoniously by Bailey and Diskin there.
Well, it was a poor option by Danny Maguire. Not the best kick. We saw earlier that he put one right high over the top of the floodlights, make it difficult. Why he didn't go for that option again, I'm not so sure.
Eddie, I've no doubt that Hull KR and Justin Morgan have spent time this week preparing to play against the offload game that Leeds always, whenever they can, like to operate. And really, if you look at so many of their tries last year, they have scored when a forward has somehow offloaded the ball. In the last set, you saw them bouncing around the field, keeping the ball alive. That has to be the focus when Hull KR are defending their own line.
Great offloading there from Rovers. Here is Stanley Jean, and he keeps it alive again. Ball goes to ground, it eventually finds Briscoe. Briscoe fires it out wildly to Jake Webster. Webster then down the line for Fitzhenry to chase. Oh, he's lost it as Maguire has been picked up by Fitzhenry. 6 to go. 6 to go for Rovers.
Real pressure there. That's the reason why he spilled the football.
Here now is Ben Galea. Down he goes, but this is a glorious opportunity for Hull KR. They're 10 metres shy of the Leeds line. Cocaine, Azu.
Now remember, Cocaine with a run around created the first try for the Rovers. Can he do the same again?
Here he is, now off the deck it goes and through the arms of Webster. Vela picks up the pieces. They've lost the momentum there a bit. Still on the front foot though. Cocaine waits. That's a better pass to Webster. Short ball then from him. It's Newton, he gets the offload away. Wide it goes to Chev Walker. Walker dumps it to the in-goal. That is far too deep.
Just lost his way slightly there, Chev Walker, but the opportunity was on. This is where Maguire spilt the football. Squeezed it out, good pressure, just a bit too strong there by the centre Walker. But Leeds are hanging on by the fingernails at the moment.
There's Jamie Peacock. Peacock, one of the international forwards of the year in 2007. Gareth Ellis, the other British player named in the World 13. Referee wants a word now.
Well, it's pretty high, but I'm not so sure. He's got him more for the grapple tackle more than anything.
Grab it over the neck. Okay, he's doing it again. Have a word with him, Nick. Hey, Richard.
It was the tackle around the neck that offended Mr. Silverwood.
Well, you're screaming all last season, Eddie, about this grapple tackle. There's nothing with the first impact. It's just that he does it there. Silly. Do all the hard work and give it away.
Remember all the controversy during the first game last year between Huddersfield and St Helens. Only 11 penalties here so far tonight. There was that new interpretation of the obstruction rule that was being heavily penalised in the first night by Ashley Klein. But so far tonight it's been pretty open stuff. That's a wonderful off-road from Lauatiti.
World class, that.
Leeds looking to press home this advantage. Jamie Peacock tries to ride the tackle. Can he get the ball away? Yes, he can. Here it is now with Kylie Luluwai. The legs will pump. And Vela and Cocaine are there to bring him down.
Lauatiti on that short blind side on the left. No, they're coming the right way.
This is Maguire up the middle, gets the ball away to Brent Webb. Webb then finds Sinfield, and Sinfield dropped the shoulder.
Oh, what a tackle.
Get the ball away to Ellis.
Webster's down.
It's Maguire. Maguire's
Short.
Just short. Diskin. Webb dabs the ball to the in-goal area and it runs too deep. And there is a player flat out. I'm not so sure it might be Briscoe, Steve-O.
Is it Briscoe? I thought it was Webster, actually.
What a pass that was.
Superb from Lauatiti. That's a game breaker at times, but what about the tackle? Ben Cocaine has been in absolutely everything. Since he came off the bench, a move by his coach Justin Morgan that has reaped great reward for the red and white.
Major problem, I think, for the fullback. Oh, he's taken a dreadful knock. I think it was a clash of heads in the tackle. And there's another one down now. It's Michele Ezu who's down as the ball comes free and is claimed by Leeds Rhinos. The referee says there's the injury to Briscoe. It was an awful bang, wasn't it?
Not so sure. It may have been just a fend by Kevin Sinfield.
And the referee here has given head and feet at this resulting scrum to Hull Kingston Rovers, much to the consternation of the Leeds Rhinos fans.
If Hull KR could defend the line with that sort of organisation and commitment, though, here we see the knock-on eventually. I think it's Webb, isn't it, who just knocks it on at that point. But if Hull KR continue throughout the rest of the season with that commitment near their own line, they will find themselves in the playoffs.
And what great work by the touch judge there. You could see that Leeds fullback Brent Webb deliberately went and palmed for the football. I must say the officials tonight have been nothing short of superb. I hope I'm not speaking too early, but they've been brilliant.
Of course, the touch judge there, you see him, he is watching across the line for any offside infringements from the defending players. Needless to say, Sean Briscoe has taken a breather. Here is James Webster, and he just dropped the shoulder, went back on the inside. Rovers fans screaming for some infringement that wasn't coming. This is Chester. Oh, great ball through the legs. It's Webster again, Jake Webster. Last tackle here for Hull KR. And Chester fires the pepper. Cocaine was absolutely flattened there.
Ellis put the shoulder into him, probably the pads as well.
Come on, Leeds.
Oh, look at that.
Can't it?
That was a bell ringer, superb. Silly play, look at that, there's a repeat of it. I'm not so sure Ellis knew what was going on. He certainly was stunned.
Meanwhile, a penalty to Leeds for interference at the play of the ball.
I mentioned in the first half, Eddie, Justin Morgan has to make sure that this side understand you don't apply so much pressure and then give it away by silly infringements like this. No doubt about it, David Mills, you've got to be thinking all the time, and that's what he'll be saying. He's furious.
Driving run from Kyle Luluai. Now Peacock. The pace has visibly upped in the last 5-10 minutes.
Certainly in the forwards. In the forwards, they're going hammer and tongue at the moment. Something's got to give.
Maguire flicks the pass back. This is Carl Ablett. As you see, just on for Matt Diskin. Sinfield, the dummy half then. Maguire gives the pass to Webb. He juggles with it and finds it. This is Tupi. Tupi gets it wide, and Lee Smith is in touch. Great defence again from Rovers.
Numbers. Confused look on the face of Brian McLennan. Good quick hands, but full credit, the numbers were there. And have a guess who's in it? That man, Ben Cocaine.
Let's get down to Bill Newsom, Sean Briscoe.
Well, he really is a remarkable character. You just have to look at his nose to know that he's broken it a few times. I honestly thought he'd done it again tonight because he came off blood oozing from that nose, which is already a pretty wonky shape. But it was just a cut. He's got a swelling below his left eye. I thought he was going to come back out. In fact, he's coming out to warm up. He's changed his shirt. I wouldn't bet against Sean Briscoe coming back into the fray. And I tell you what, Eddie, it is a fray out there. It really is cracking up. For the first game of the season, these players really are putting it in tonight.
Yeah, both coaches, Bill, were a little bit concerned that perhaps they wouldn't quite be at the races tonight because it's come very early, this match, for both teams. But boy, it's a terrific contest.
Certainly
augurs
is.
well for everything we've got to come, Steve-O, this year.
It certainly does. And I tell you what, this whole Kingston Rovers side, they're showing to the rest of Super League, these are the Champions Leagues. These are the ones that won the grand final last year. And he knows he's a worried man. They're being battered on both sides.
I think what we're seeing, Steve-O, aren't we, is the pressure that goes on you when you are the champions. It is first game of Super League, and we knew that Hull KR would come out and perform well because everybody tends to do that on their opening day or opening night. But the pressure on Leeds now, I just think they thought somewhere during the first half that they had Hull KR by the throat and they were going to be able to strangle them and finish the game off. And Hull KR just have refused to lay down here. They've been very patient. In fact, if anything, they've probably been the side that's looked a little more dangerous, particularly in the second half.
When Super League's other 10 members of the family join the fray next week, Hull Kingston Rovers will play St Helens and Leeds will play Huddersfield.
Not a bad start,
what a tackle.
Not a bad start to take on the two grand finalists from last year, and it's showing their mettle. Oh, it's a neat kick through, just a bit too strong.
It's a great kick by Stanley Jean, and the Rovers fans are complaining that Stanley was taken out as he went to chase that ball.
A bit of confusion there because of the two lines.
Well, it's the two lines, and also it has to be now from the middle of the field. That's the incident there where Stanley Jean and the Rovers fans thought he was being taken out.
No, there's nothing that Keith Senior could do about it. The big fellow ran straight into him. Simple as that.
Well, the other 10, as I say, they join the fray, and we've got two of the best next week. Warrington, Steve-O's tip for Super League 13 against Hull FC, and Castleford Catalans next Saturday. Friday we're at Warrington, Saturday we're at Cass. It's back.
Okay, guys,
The big game just keeps on getting better.
Certainly does, and Brian McLennan has to start changing things out there now.
That's a great ball, and this is Jake Webster, and Webster is going to go in for his second try. Hull Kingston Rovers, Jake Webster, it's 10-4. They're going crazy on the terraces. Justin Morgan just hangs on to the emotion. Jake Webster, 24 years of age, New Zealand international, second try on the home ground of the champions in the Super League.
All came about by the error, and they just stood around. That silver trophy in the boardroom may look shiny and very pretty indeed, but when you've got a guy of this quality, Jake Webster, what a step, straight through. No one was going to get anywhere near him. What an effort. A simple error, a simple mistake, and Leeds, they stopped. That's not the sign of a championship tide. You've got to be alert at all times. Heads went down, players failed to get into a position, and when the fella took a neat step, he added his second. Can he add the 2?
Oh, it just scrapes in the right side of the post. Just about made it. Scott Morrell hit the post with his first one in the first half. But Rovers now have an 8-point advantage, and look at the faces on the terraces behind those posts. Rovers, they could be a force in 2008 on the evidence of what we've seen thus far tonight.
No doubt about that, especially with the quality of this fella. But I've tried to make the point that Brian McLennan's got to change something, you know, just sheer hard work and getting into position where they can apply the pressure in the red zone of Old Kingston Rovers. But what they've got to do is, Leeds was so good last year of creating tries deep from within their own half. They've got to risk it now. They've really got to show their hand. At 12-4, they've got to really put the pressure on.
It's 22 years since Rovers last enjoyed an away win on this ground. November 1985, 16-12. 10 games losing sequence at Headingley, and they are 20.5 minutes away from ending that record.
Eddie, Leeds do know that they were the best side in Super League in the final quarter of games last season. They still have 20 minutes in which to score 2 tries and convert them. Still plenty of time here, but you can tell this is a very determined Rovers outfit.
It is. Look at the chase from that kick. Oh, but now they give away a penalty for having a second snap at the ankle again. And it's Ben Cockayne once more who is being pulled out by the referee. And just lifts the ankle there.
Oh, it's silly. It's just silly play. He knows it. He knows he's going to get a real rollicking from this fella, Justin Morgan. In a good position, there's solid defence. Found it very difficult for the Rhinos to get through. And they're giving them an opportunity. Only 8 points in it.
And it's Ian Kirk again.
He's down for 2.
The man whose career began at Hull Kingston Rovers in 1999. Burrow. Lovely little dummy from Burrow. He manages to get the offload away as well.
3. Move, Dave! Both feet.
Peacock plays the ball to the skipper, Sinfield. Sinfield to Keith Senior. Good offload again. Over the head of Sinfield finds Scott Donald. Donald then comes back on the inside.
4. Get, move! Hold. Go. 4.
Sinfield again. Maguire. And Webb. Webb over the top, misses out a couple. Gets the ball then to Carl Ablett. His 21st appearance for Leeds, this, and every single one of them have come off the bench. Maguire with a crossfield kick. Well claimed on that far side by Peter Fox. Well claimed by him. Under extreme pressure, a wonderful kick.
Certainly was.
Was he tackled in the air then by Scott Donald?
Well, it certainly looks it to me. That should have been a penalty. Well, that's really the first error that we've seen from the officials. Either way, you're right, Eddie. Peter Fox took that absolutely superbly. But he must be wondering what we are. Definitely touched him. Feet not on the ground.
Goal line dropout though, says referee Richard Silverwood. That's why Leeds have ball on halfway. Here comes Kylie Lulawai. Big job again on hand then for the Rovers defence.
Okay, McKay, stand! 1.
Sinfield. Kirk. Good strong run.
2. Releasing.
But it's times like this where Leeds so often, for many years, have applied the pressure, and the likes of Rob Barrow have come up with something really outstanding.
Brilliant ball from Maguire. Great run from Webb. Oh, he just tried to offload it in an impossible situation.
It'll be a dropout. I don't think that's a knock on. He's got it right. Richard Silverwood is in absolute tremendous form tonight. It hits the boot. And is kicked dead in goal by a Rovers player. But
great forward pass. I mean, we can't. No, it looks as though it was going backwards.
Yep.
Can't really judge on camera angles.
Even more pressure.
Here they come again with Peacock.
Okay, release him! Stanley! Wait! Let's go! Jamie, from the ball!
Sinfield and Maguire to Senior. And Senior gets the ball infield to Kirk on the tackle. Kirk.
Shoulder.
Down he goes on the second tackle, Ian Kirk. Burrow waits. Finds Webb. Webb up the middle. Now he gets them for offside. Oh, it's a high shot, was it? High tackle, he says.
Well, they're giving Leeds plenty of opportunities.
Well, this is the third consecutive set of six, isn't it, that they're facing?
They've upped the tempo ever since Sinfield's gone into dummy half as well.
Driving forward is Lulu. Sinfield, there he is. Back he comes to Burrow. Burrow, chinking run, typical, great offload. Sinfield!
Desperate defence. Bengalia just got to him in time.
And that's Ellis. And Ellis gets the ball away to Sinfield. He dumps it over the top. This is Ryan Bailey. It's outstanding Rovers defence. Oh, just a minute.
That'll be a penalty.
Well, the referee shouted 4.
So it's got to be a penalty.
Well, we had one of these, was it last year or the year before? And I think it was Carl Kirkpatrick. And I think it was on this ground.
That's it. Ball carrying arms already at the deck. This is double movement. This will be a penalty to Rovers. It's quite clear that there's man stopping the momentum. That's the end of the tackle. This will be a penalty to Rovers.
Well, if it is, and they survive this pressure,
it's a double movement.
Hull Kingston Rovers will believe this game is in the bag.
He gets it on the line. The whitewash is all right, but this watch. Bang. That's it. End of story. Phil Bentham is the video ref, but this should be a penalty to the red and white.
Video referee tonight is Phil Bentham. What does he say? No try. He's in tune with you.
Don't look so surprised.
Well, one man who's not happy is Brian McLennan.
I think deep down he realises that the ball carrying arm certainly hit the deck. Bailey perhaps knows it too.
The last 4 minutes that he will have taken a lot out of Hull KR though in defence. To survive like that, you've said you think it may be their night. 15 minutes plus is still a long time.
Very much so. I'm not saying it's their night. I'm saying they'll think it's going to be their night. It was sensational defence, Sean, wasn't it?
They've been tremendous. We praised Leeds in the first half, Eddie, but Hull KR have been even better on their line in the second half. There's no doubt about that. This is a very important set of 6 for them. They need to control the football here. Well, there you go. I've put the mocker on, I think. I don't think they have controlled it. It looks as though it's going to be a lead scrum.
What about that from Ablett and Ellis, though, Eddie? When you miss a chance, they just lift it to another level, didn't they?
Scott! He's not kicking the ball away!
Driving him backwards, being aggressive in the tackle, the ball came free, and now they get a chance again. So it's almost 5 continuous minutes here now. The Hull Kingston Rovers will have to defend their own quarter.
Let's see how they cope this time then. Do they have the petrol in the tank? This is Senior. We're swarming around him, and he gets the ball away to Maguire. There's danger here for Rovers. There's still danger. That's a brilliant move. And here is Tupi. And this is Lee Smith. And Leeds are in.
Tremendous handling.
The handling skills in front of the Rovers post then were mesmerising.
Right across the line. And well finished too.
Lee Smith with the try. A try in the grand final win against St Helens. And it all came about as a result of that mistake and the wonderful tackling from Ablett and Ellis.
Michele Azu came out with the error. They kept it alive. That's one thing that the Rovers have done. They have not been sucked in, so that when the opportunity, and full credit to Danny Maguire, gets involved twice. Great offload there from Ellis. What about the last pass? Maybe a doubt, who knows? The momentum rules pretty hard. I think that's fine from that angle. Well finished by Lee Smith. He's going to be up there in the leading try scorers throughout this season. When you finish like that, this is a power kick.
Well, it is, and it's from probably the softest part of the field. Oh, hits the post. 8-12. Hulkingston Rovers still lead. Stand by for our finish to savour.
I think the thing about that try, Phil, was that even though Leeds have been able to score on the back of 4 or 5 sets, it's the hard work that they still had to do. Rovers still made them work hard to get in the corner, and only, you know, they were only just able to get in the corner, weren't they?
Eddie, I think what was really important then is what the Hulkingston Rovers players were talking about behind the post in that minute while Sinfield lined up the kick. It needed to be very positive. They can't hope to hang on. It's too long, 12 minutes plus in a game of rugby league. They need to be positive and play well when they have the ball.
Here's Ryan Bailey. Had one try chalked off for the double movement.
Release!
The one thing that Rovers can't do, though, mentally, is just clock off and say, well, we'll have enough. We've got 4 points to lead. We can't afford to do that. We know how the quality of Leeds, especially in the 3 quarters. And it will have lifted his spirits, Danny Maguire, who was involved in it on 2 occasions that led up to that try from Leeds Smith.
And it's an incredible thing when you think about it. All this momentum that Leeds have got behind them at the moment came as a result of that tackle in the air that was not seen by any of the officials. But here is Tupi, and Tupi's broken the line. Oh, off the hands of Burrow.
He's bombed it. Back on the inside. Danny Maguire thought that it wasn't. And that is sheer panic. That's all you can put it down to. Sorry, mate. Wonderful effort there by Tupi. Through the dummy, had the break. He got himself in the right position. Perhaps it should have gone to Smith. He opted for Rob Burrow, who thought he was going to hit the century mark. He's on 99 career tries.
Yes, he was 1 away from 100 for Leeds, and he still is 1 away from 100 for Leeds. The little scrum half who was Great Britain's man of the series against the Kiwis last year.
You know, I'd bet Clinton Tupi like to throw that pass again. That was just far too hard. That was just a bad ball. He'd be the first to put his hand up. We'd always say Rob Burrow might have been able to catch it. That was a tough ball to take.
Certainly was, but I think you'd have to agree, though, Sean, that Lee Smith was in a better position. Just a little up ball, he would have gone straight through.
Yeah, it's just a little drop-off there to Lee Smith. I don't know whether he gave Clinton Tupi the information. That's what we don't know, whether he called the ball or not. Clinton Tupi probably knew that Rob Burrows was there all the time.
And your Leeds reaction to a disappointment is amazing. Look, they had the try disallowed for Bailey. They responded well. They've missed that chance. And again, the defence has been outstanding in those 4 tackles.
Yes, it has. And Rovers, well, they're trying to get the ball over the halfway line at the end of this set of 6.
It's not easy.
You can only do that now with the kick.
The one thing they've got to do, Justin Morgan has got to say, right, we'll get downfield, we'll get the defensive, but what you cannot do is give away a silly penalty. You can't afford to give the Rhinos another 40 or 50 metres downfield.
Let's go.
Here comes Tupi again.
Do the defence, but get away, and you can see there that they're still at it. Chris Chester could have been penalised. He was hanging around in the tackle.
Well, I don't know how superstitious you all are, but the last 3 opening Super League games of the season have been won by the team playing away from home. It's a penalty here to Leeds, though.
Well, I said the one thing that they didn't want to do, and Ben Galea looks at the touch judge on this near side. I think he's reefed it. Look at that. He's dragged the arm across.
What a chance for Leeds. This is Peacock.
They're going to gift this game to the Rhinos by silly penalties.
Diskin finds Burrow. Burrow then to Maguire. Maguire to Webb. Quick hands. Ellis has hung on to it somehow. Gets the ball away. Maguire still has it. Well, it's all going Leeds' way at the moment. Apart from on the scoreboard.
Rob Burrow will go on a little throw of the dummy, go right underneath the sticks. Sinfield's going to be first receiver, I feel.
Lautiti, back to Burrow. Burrow then to Webb. Stretching them. Webb with a dab. It's a knock on, though. It's a knock on by Jake Webster.
Webster says he was facing his own sticks. Be interesting to see this. Did that go backwards? I think it did. He's livid.
What on earth is he doing?
He's not a relative. Before you say anything, he is not related to me in any shape or form.
Can I tell you, it is -2 degrees centigrade, and he's stripped up to the waist. Here's Sinfield. Here now is Maguire. Maguire gives it to Senior, and Fox flew out of the line and missed it. There were reinforcements waiting. Donald to Maguire. The momentum you think now is with Leeds. But can Hull Kingston Rovers hang on? Peacock offloads to Gareth Ellis. Ellis then to Tupi. Tupi back inside. Gets the ball away somehow to Diskin. Diskin then to Bailey. And Bailey still short. Was that a knock-on? Was that a play the ball? Was that a phony play the ball? This is Burrow. Great defence from Valette.
This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Lamatite. Big Ali. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men around him. Last tackle. Can Hull KR survive another set here?
Dinking to the in goal.
There it is from Maguire. The ball's come free. It's a try.
Sinfield scored. He'll be given this.
Offside.
All that pressure. This will be given, and I think Kevin Sinfield knows it. They have stolen this game and put that down. No one's offside. That is fine. That's play on. The video referee, Phil Bentham, he'll be happy with that. It's quite clear. They're all behind the kicker. Ben Galea, I think it is, that makes a real meal of it. It comes off the leg, and Sinfield comes from behind Brent Webb, and that, folks, is try time. Right in front of the sticks. He just completely misses it.
Did Lee Smith get to it first? Yes, I think he did, Steve-O.
Either way, it's a try. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a Leeds player.
Yes, it's Lee Smith's hand on it first.
Doesn't matter.
Sinfield confirms.
You have to have some sympathy for Hull Kingston Rovers in it, because I think you picked it to play the balls earlier. Ryan Bailey got up, and I think it was an illegal play the ball from Leeds. They've got away with it if this decision goes their way.
Oh, I think it's going their way. I think there's any doubt about that. Kevin Sinfield's already lining up the conversion attempt. Lee Smith. Lee Smith. Will it be a second try? It is. And Leeds play the get-out-of-jail card on Super League 13's opening night.
Well, a few moments ago, Lee Smith thought he was going to get the inside ball from Clinton Tupi. It went to Burrow, it went to ground.
Sinfield adds the extras, and Leeds are ahead for the first time since the opening quarter of an hour. 14-12. It's a cruel game, this. The 50-50 calls have just gone against Hull Kingston Rovers. Was it an illegal play the ball or attempt by Ryan Bailey? He's not worried, he's on the blower. He's telling everybody what's happening here at Headingley. Still remember, way over in the far corner, which got the momentum behind the Leeds Rhinos, that tackle in the air on Peter Fox. Little calls have gone against Rovers in the closing stages of this match.
Spot on, Eddie.
I think the point, though, as well, is they're not out of the game. It's only 2 points. We're talking as though the Leeds Rhinos have now won. Sure, they've got the momentum, but it only takes one error here. One drop ball, you've got to go hunting for it, you've got to put pressure on the kick. You come up with an error, you get field position, you're able to open up the play again. It's the problem that Hull KR have had all this half, is they had very little field position.
But they could have had field position only by the fact that they'd given away silly penalties at a time when they should have controlled it.
Peacock, magnificent run. Maguire, Tupi, space wide for Lee Smith. Down the line for Smith to chase. Fitzhenry is their fine touch. It's going to be a 20-metre restart. The optional kick. They take it.
He's not happy, Brian McLennan. He wanted to just camp down there to make sure that they put a dink into the in-goal area, try to get a second set of 6. You've got to admire the way that Hull Kingston Rovers, though. They just desperate defence.
Just cracked, didn't they? Just cracked at a vital moment, maybe. But you're right, Sean McRae spot on. 5 minutes to go. Let's get Rovers injuries news now. Here's Bill.
Eddie Jake Webster, 2 tries to his name tonight, is on the sidelines, and I think, in fact, he's played a lot of this game carrying a knock. Now, the Rovers bench won't let on exactly what the problem is, but very early on in the game, he went down, had a bang, waved away the physio, but it hasn't looked totally convincing, and he's finally had to come off. So if he has battled through with an injury, it has been a great debut for him.
Absolutely, it's been a great debut. Even so, it'd be made even better, of course, if Rovers were to win this. It's an interesting kick, and Smith, Cockayne just couldn't get to him. Smith did really well. Smith does brilliantly well. He's fantastic run. He's got Webb in support. He gets it back, does Lee Smith. What a fantastic effort.
That's a game winner as far as I'm concerned. And he knows it too. As soon as he got the ball back from Webb, he made sure he was going to make sure that the possession was going to be Leeds. They can now control it, get field position. That'll be a penalty.
Penalty here.
Yeah. The rule states
they've conceded another penalty, Hull Kingston Rovers, but I think Kevin Sinfield's pass infield, I think it was about a half a metre forward, you know.
Certainly looked that way, but either way...
Look at this. That's forward. Yep. As I say, the little 50-50s...
They've got the rub of the green.
Have gone against Rovers.
But there again, I still maintain, Justin Morgan will look at the tape after this and say, that's if they lose. They say that the biggest problem is that we get down into the Leeds half and we give away silly penalties.
And here's another one in their own half, right underneath the sticks for a high challenge.
They'll go for the 2, surely.
Well, they spurned it a moment ago.
I think the problem with the 2, Steve-O, is that it doesn't take enough time up on the clock. It enables them to have a kick-off and perhaps get a short kick-off option. I think if they want it, I think Leeds just want to try and run the clock down and maybe score a try.
They want to try and win the match, and Bailey is going to do that.
No, it's short.
He is short. Well, hang on, the referee now isn't convinced. Well, Bailey is celebrating. Leeds are celebrating.
He celebrated last time.
He did.
He's short here. Short, thank you. Short.
Well, if he plonks it over the line here...
He's short and he's moved it. Is that a double movement?
It's another double movement.
It's play the ball, isn't it?
It's not try. It should be. It should be.
I think he's been moved by the Hull KR player. I don't think they'll do a double movement here. I think it'll be play the ball, won't it?
Yeah. But he's short.
I agree with you. He's short.
I mean, he's not short in stature.
6'5", but he's, yes.
It's a good effort. Boom.
But he's well short, and you think that it's the Hull Kingston Rovers defenders who are dragging him towards the line.
You can see the player there, I don't know, I can't quite work out who that is coming over the top. Is it Ben Galea? Well, you see him now, he drags him. He drags him over. His momentum, his hold of the plate, and it drags him forward.
Play the ball. That's
but I don't think he's hit the line anyway, so I don't think that's an issue. It'd be an interesting decision if he did go over the line.
Play the ball.
Well, maybe he should have a look at it at normal speed.
Here we go. He's worked hard though, Bailey.
I think the last 15 minutes. Looking at that could be given.
No. Momentum stopped already.
77 minutes into the new season, and already you were tossing a coin, and who would be a video referee?
Well, I don't think Ryan Bailey has made any effort, has he?
His momentum stops here, right? Bang, stop. And if it's pushed over after that...
Well, it's a try if he's on the line, but yeah. I think he's short.
I think he's short.
Well, it doesn't matter what we think, it's what Phil Bentham thinks that counts. What's his decision? Not given. Third tackle attack, it's play the ball. Well, you were right.
Well, it's another week I don't need to get glasses. I had been thinking about it for a while, though.
Well, the seconds are ticking away. They'll just try to plunder it here.
Diskin is the dummy half for Leeds. Bailey looks again, no, gives it to Maguire. Maguire hauled down, last tackle. I wonder if they'll take a 1 point.
No, they'll just camp down there, Eddie.
Burrow. Up in the air. Ball is all over the shop. Ooh, and Keith Senior nearly touched down. It's a goal line dropout, this.
And that should secure the game for them. Neat option, kicking to the corner. They're trying for that new rule to try to get the...
Bailey picks it up. Has a look at the post. Been denied twice by the video referee this evening. 2 minutes remaining. 2 points the difference. Bailey in no hurry. Trying to wind the clock down. Here goes Nick Scruton.
Release it!
Now it's with Diskin. Diskin attacking, looking for a penalty, not comes. This is Ellis, not tackled. Now he is. 1.5 minutes remain. Diskin. Leeds looking to wrap this up. What a surprise, what a shock they've had tonight, though. Maguire. Senior.
It's at that time now that the Rovers, they've got to risk it, they've got to go for an intercept. Come out of the line.
Maguire down the short side.
Yep.
Maguire touches down for Leeds and wins the match. Brian McLennan now is wreathed in smiles. And so are the Leeds Rhinos. They have been shaken to the core here, the champions. They have had to dig very, very deep for this victory. And dig deep they have. Maguire wraps it up. Leeds Rhinos win on Super League's opening night.
Quick thinking, works on the blind side, through the dummy, seals it all up. It has been a wonderful effort by Hull Kingston Rovers. The defence in the second half, how they've got back in numbers is beyond belief. He's a happy boys, Maguire. They found it tough going of the 3 quarters on the Leeds outfit, but they've come up trumps. They've had all the possession in the latter part of this second half, and that has proved the downfall of the red and whites, who must be thinking to themselves, how on earth have we lost this game?
It's the 130th career try for Danny Maguire tonight, and Brian McLennan has got off to the best possible start as far as he's concerned. He's got off to a win.
He'll be absolutely delighted. I think the thing that his team has shown is they probably haven't been at their best, but then again, that might be disrespectful to Hull KR, who I think have played exceptionally well. 3
tries from Leeds, Sean, in the last quarter of an hour of this match.
Well, I'd love
Phil mentioned they've got the best finishing power in the Super League.
And they've certainly started the 2008 Super League, haven't they, in exactly the same way.
Sinfield has found the mark with the boot. It's 20 points to 12. Leeds Rhinos championship defence is up and running.
Sorry, Eddie, I was just going to say I'd love to see a stat of time in possession this half, and also, you know, if we had something available on field position, the number of sets, because you just get a feeling that Leeds would be so dominant in that, and that Hull KR have just struggled throughout this second half in terms of field position.
Danny Maguire has brought a big smile to the face of his coach. It was a wonderful effort from Hull Kingston Rovers, but Leeds are not champions for nothing. They were 12-4 down with around about an hour of the game to go, and then Smith's 2 tries followed by the Danny Maguire try late on seals a 20 points to 12 victory, and Ryan Bailey of course denied by the video referee on 2 occasions. But Leeds are delighted to get the new regime up and running with a victory. But I think the message to the rest is that, first of all, Leeds will be very difficult to beat this year, and second of all, Hull Kingston Rovers are going to shake a few feathers.